3 spiritual reasons to eat meat. Are you a spiritual person who wants to eat meat? Do you find it difficult to defend your meat-eating position to religious vegans and vegetarians? Well, fear not. I'm about to share my 3 spiritual reasons to eat meat, as well as a few other responses to your morally superior pals. I spent 9 years as a vegan for the sole purpose of furthering my spiritual development. While my spirit did take big steps forward, my body slowly broke down, a process which ultimately slowed my overall progress. It was 9 of the unhealthiest years of my life. As it turned out, there was another really big thing I could have done instead. Not only would it have sent my spirit soaring, it would have made my physical body a pillar of spiritual strength. I'll tell you about it in just a moment, but first, here are my 3 spiritual reasons to eat meat. A quick note. If you want even more reasons to eat meat, you'll definitely want to visit my website, read the original article in the comments section. I'm sure you'll enjoy my responses to some of the internet's most self-righteous plant ravagers. 1. Eating meat is natural and therefore sacred. You know that big brain vegetarians use to pass judgment on you for eating meat? It only got that big because early humans started eating meat. About 2.3 million years ago, human beings went from scavenging nuts, berries, and greens to scavenging carcasses. While it may sound gross, the scraps of meat were packed full of calories and fat. All those additional calories meant additional energy for the brain. A bigger brain meant smarter humans. Those smarter humans started using tools that eventually led to wielding fire and subsequently cooking. Eating cooked meat meant humans didn't have to work so hard to chew food. Over time, jaw muscles got smaller, freeing up more space in the head for that big old self-righteous vegetarian brain. Not only did we evolve to eat meat, we evolved because we ate meat. Eating meat is absolutely natural. Like most Taoists, I believe that existence and God are one and the same. The universe is an expression of Tao, and thus the laws of nature are the laws of God. Therefore, a natural diet is a holy diet. Like most Taoists, I also believe in the veneration of my ancestors. By eating meat, I honor my ancestors by engaging in the same activities which help sustain them. 2. All life is sacred, not just life you can relate to. Vegans and vegetarians like to trumpet the evils of killing animals, but what about the evils of killing plants? Why does plant life have less value than that of animal life? It's a rhetorical question. I'm going to tell you why. It's because human beings like to anthropomorphize things. That is, we like to assign human characteristics to non-human things. The more we can relate to something, the easier it is to anthropomorphize. The problem is that people, in this case vegans and vegetarians, like to pick and choose which living things get assigned human characteristics. Animals, especially mammals, are beautiful, majestic creatures with big eyes and soft fur, and we just love them so much. Plants don't have any of those things. Sure, plants are pretty and they smell good, but they don't look like us on the inside or out. We can't relate to them, so our brain files them in the guilt-free eating category. Personally, I think it's very arrogant to assume one thing's life has more value than another, simply because it experiences the material world differently than we do. E.g., it doesn't have a similar nervous or circulatory system. But more and more research is showing that plants feel pain, respond to emotion, and even learn. So in my book, the only vegetarians who aren't big old hypocrites are Jains, who don't kill animals or plants. If you're wondering how I can still eat animals and plants considering they're all sacred, it's because I believe. 3. Death is not the end. As a psychic medium, I look at death a little differently than most people. Not only do I speak to spirits on my own time, it's also my job. I have a lot of experience with the afterlife, and that experience has taught me that when the body dies, the soul continues on, relatively unscathed from the trauma that is incarnation. I believe the cycle of reincarnation is as old as existence, and that it will continue on, perhaps indefinitely. In this lifetime, I'm doing the eating. Perhaps next time, I will be eaten. I believe we all take turns acquiring sustenance from each other. The entire process is cyclical, natural, and therefore sacred. So what's the one thing I could have done in place of veganism that would have propelled both my spiritual and physical development? As it turns out, nature and my ancestors had the answers all along. A relatively pre-agrarian diet of whole foods. No diet has made me feel closer to God than eating like a caveman. That includes when and how often I eat, but that's an article for another day. Suffice to say, the closer my diet reflects that of my primitive ancestors, the higher my spiritual vibration becomes. Of course, everybody's body is different, and you need to figure out what works for you. If you feel physically or spiritually strong as a vegetarian or vegan, great. If you're like me, and you feel more spiritual whilst channeling your inner Homo heidelbergensis, that's cool too. Just try not to be too judgmental about it either way. It only takes one self-righteous religious zealot to ruin it for the rest of us. If any of my spiritual reasons to eat meat filled you with rage, there's a good chance you've suffered some serious thought reform, but I've got the medicine. Read my article, 5 Things Religious Authorities Say to Dissuade You from Critical Thought. Thanks for watching. Please like and share, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos on all things metaphysical.